Evolution. Without it, we would all still be puddles of Proterozoic ooze. Evolution is a rule of survival for all living things. Take away evolution and we wouldn't have opposable thumbs to use tools, or brains to create the fire from 2 sticks of wood. Without evolution, we'd stand still and die. And this is no different for the biggest and the baddest of the world's car companies. Ferrari. It's hard to show evolution during a short period of time because evolution happens over the course of hundreds, if not thousands of years. That's how long it takes for a species to grow another finger, maybe another leg, maybe just adapt to its surroundings. Luckily for us, we're not studying your average house pet. Oh no, we're focusing on something way more exciting. Talking about a company that produces dreams, and they all come in the shape of a Ferrari. If a species doesn't evolve, it simply disappears. The same thing applies to pretty much anything in life, and especially car companies. Ferrari's evolution has been happening so fast, we really haven't had a time to sit back and enjoy it. Every single year, there's new technology that gets dumped into these cars. Today, we're actually going to have a chance to look at the evolution of Ferrari. And this right here is the great granddaddy of all Ferrari supercars, the Ferrari 288 GTO. What a freaking beast. The Ferrari GTO is actually the first car where Ferrari used carbon fiber and Kevlar. It's just a little bit though, it's on the roof and on the bonnet. The crazy thing about this is, this car came out in 1985. That's about the same time when Horacio Pagani was working at Lamborghini and he was telling them work on their cars with carbon fiber. And sadly, Lamborghini just looked at Horacio and said, you know what, we're good, dude, move on. But luckily for us, Ferrari didn't. They put carbon fiber and Kevlar and the result made history. Instead of taking your morning coffee, this is what's gonna wake you up when you drive it. If anyone would have told me, just by looking at this car, how fast it goes, I would have just laughed in their face. That makes no sense. It doesn't have a big wing on the back, or even air vents on the bonnet. This right here is what I'd like to call a sleeping beauty. Not only because it's beautiful, but the power is just ridiculous. This thing is absolutely bonkers in every sort of way that you can imagine. It feels like actually a pretty drivable car, but once you step on it just a tiny little bit, the car goes, and your smile grows, and the hood just opened too. So we should probably just go back to the pit lane. For some reason, everyone thinks that the only big boy turbocharged Ferrari is the F40. But this beautiful 288 was actually the original turbocharged Ferrari. The turbochargers are amazing! Ah! This thing moves. How are we doing on temperature, gas? Everything is good. That is amazing. This is a car from 1985. With a V8 engine with only a 2.9 liter displacement and 2 turbochargers, this Sleeping Beauty produces an incredible 400 horsepower, which is mental considering the car came out in 1984. The only downside to this car right now is we have absolutely no AC. We got no ABS. We got absolutely no support whatsoever from the car. We're just driving this. Once you pick up speed, not having power steering really doesn't make a difference. It makes you more connected with the road, and it makes it that much more special than just driving a fast new car. Only 272 were produced, so to say that we're lucky to be in its presence is as redundant as saying the sky is blue or Alejandro's Mexican. I've done my homework, and let me teach you the lesson that I should have learned a long time ago. You can never underestimate Ferrari. What a monster. Thank you, David, for letting me drive this thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This thing is your high-end sleeper, if we can call it that. But you can't really talk about speed in Ferrari language without talking about the Ferrari F40. If the 288 GTO was the great granddaddy of all Ferrari supercars, this is the really cool grandpa that everyone wanted to have, with the cool army tattoos all over his arm and also the amazing war stories that your parents didn't want you to listen to. This right here is the Ferrari F40. This is the dream car. This is the first dream car for me.
It's just me, the road, and this telling me how fast I'm going. Do I need anything else?
You cannot talk about speed without mentioning this car. And the reason why is this is the first production car to ever hit a top speed over 200 miles an hour. For the year this came out, that's a huge accomplishment by Ferrari.
I got no ABS support, I got no steering support, and I love it. I love it even though it's scary as hell. This is a one-of-a-kind experience, that's for sure. And we keep racking up the miles on this thing. And my smile keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It has a twin-turbo V8 2.8 liter, just like the GTO, but they were able to squeeze another 100 horsepower out of this one for a total of 513, making this an absolute bullet to drive.
How were they able to pull that up? I have no idea, but they did, and the car drives amazingly. It's actually really scary. Once the turbos spool up, you better have your shit together. Otherwise, you're gonna end up outside of the corner and hopefully not against the wall.
This is probably one of my favorite cars of all time, and I still have 3 more to go.
How the hell is the F50 gonna do better than this?
This right here is the big bad wolf in the Ferrari lineup. This is the Bruce Willis of all Ferrari supercars.
This right here is the F50. Oh!
This is the biggest leap that Ferrari took in its evolution. Perhaps Ferrari's closest evolution towards F1. This was the first car to showcase a true carbon fiber tub and chassis, just like they did in Formula 1. The entire body is made out of carbon fiber and Kevlar. You can actually see the carbon fiber weaved on top of the paint, which is awesome. It's the only barchetta of them all, which is basically a convertible or roadster, if you will.
I'm loving this thing. To me, this is when Ferrari reached the analog perfection.
This is also the first Ferrari with a push-rod suspension, and for the first time ever in the lineup, my favorite part, it's got a ginormous V12 engine. The noise that this thing makes, it's absolutely unreal.
That massive V12 engine on the back just making all that noise. You feel a rumble while you're driving the car that no other car will give you. Ferrari's been doing this for years, and they haven't messed up once. Holy f***.
This is the last car in the lineup with a manual gearbox, and that makes it a true driver's car.
I know. Everyone keeps saying the F40 is faster than this car, but this is just more special. And listen to that noise! Listen to that noise on the straightaway! And this right here is the why you gotta love these cars. Forget about going to space. This is all I need.
So the F50 looked, felt, and drove like the ultimate Ferrari masterpiece. Getting behind the wheel of this beast made me wonder, why would anyone want to move away from this formula? But then I remembered, stand still and die, evolve, and you get the Ferrari Enzo.